Okay, next riff. This one is an interesting one because you've got a little bend in here. It's not really, though, even a full semitone bend, I don't think. It's kind of just a bit of a slur, I think, which Keith often did a lot in Stones tracks. So what you're doing is you're doing this kind of double stop bend, which is where you've got your third finger on the D string and little finger on the G string, and you're going to again go for those two notes, and you're going to do just a little slur. And what that means is you're just going to lift the strings up, bring them back down. Don't do it very far, just a little way. I'm not sure if you're aware of tones and semitones, but a semitone would be like one fret move, essentially. So you bend the string to sound like what it would sound like at the next fret. So, semitone at best, really. So that's what we're doing, okay? So, lift it up, bring it back. Get the two fingers to work together in unison. That's why it's called a double stop bend. Cool. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to go, we're on the 9th fret, and we're going to go index finger back to the 7th fret, so middle two strings again, D and G. So you can see you're bouncing between the 7th fret and the 9th fret a lot. So you're going, okay, that's where you've finished, and then you go, so, and you just kind of slide off at that point. So bend. Back to the 7th fret, middle two strings, index finger flat. Back to the 9 with the 3rd and little finger. 2 times back at the 7th fret here. Just those 2 strings in the middle. And then you can come up there with the 2 fingers together if you wish, or you can do it with the flat finger like you have done in the rest of the track. You come up to the D and the A string again at the 9th fret, hit those together, and then you are index finger back to the 7. Same place every single time to finish the riff. And then just slide down the fretboard. It's important you keep the pressure on until you're a good way down the fretboard there. So all of that section together, so. Okay. So I'm not going to do the whole playthrough now because we're a good way in, so. Okay, good, well done. Next riff's on the way. Okay, next riff. Well done for getting this far. If you may have already had all this down, but if you haven't, well done for getting this far. Next bit. So we're back to that familiar position. Index finger on the 7th fret on the A and D string. What you're going to do here, though, this is very similar to riff to what was earlier in the track. The only big difference with this one, though, in comparison to the first one, is when you play it, you'll hear the difference. I'm going to play it, and you can kind of refer back to it. It's kind of the second riff, really, that we had in the song, but you just change the beats a little bit. So, in the first part of the song, you had. So that kind of bluesy shuffle type thing going on, right? This is again exactly that. The only difference is in the first one you had in this piece of the song, this section of the song, you have this. So instead of going 3 beats at the beginning, you actually cycle back to the 3rd fret here, which you didn't in the first section. And also at the beginning, you're almost straight into it. There's one pluck of the A and D strings. So you're going... Yeah, you can see what I'm doing there, I'm sure. So index finger flat, you're used to this now. Index finger is flattening off across the A and D. 3rd finger goes straight down after that onto the 9th fret. Finger comes off, back to that one, to the 7th fret. Little finger goes down on the 10th fret on the D string. 3rd finger goes back down on the 9th fret, finger comes off, and then you're back to our familiar position of coming back to the 7th fret on the D and A strings. So all of that together. Okay, they are different, you must get that right. So the first part of the song, this piece, oops, there you go. Okay, to finish that section off, so once you've done that, you then go, it's that same little ending that he keeps chucking in there, right? He's a creature of habit, is Keith, right? That's what you're hearing, okay? All downstrokes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? There. Then little and third finger going down. Index finger flat on the 7, D and A. Third finger going down on the 9 on the D. I should just point out, just in case you're not familiar with it, when you're doing that, you're hitting both strings. That's what you're aiming for. Okay? Well done. Put it all together. Okay, you're now into the really recognisable riff. Not that they all aren't, I mean they're all iconic, but this is the bit that's really going to get it noticed. And it's also the bit that really makes that open G tuning punch through. Okay, for me anyway. Okay, this is what you're hearing. So you've just, again, you've kind of lived in this area here with this index finger on the A and D string, right? Last little section now. So last couple of sections. Okay, so you're going to go, what I do, just to get a bit of momentum into the hand, I do an upstroke. Loose wrist. And I've just got my index finger flat from the A string down. And to be honest, I'm probably just going down to the A to the B string. So it's the middle 4 strings, okay? And then you're going to slide back. So up, down, down, down. And then your index finger is going to go to the 5. One big strum on the 5, again from the A string down. And again, I'm focusing A string to B string probably in my strum. I'm not really worried too much about the E string there, but if you catch it, that's cool, it's not a problem. So, you can hear I kind of mute it a bit. Doesn't matter if you do that, you can mute it a bit as well if you want to punctuate it a bit. Failing that, just downstrokes. You let it ring a bit. And this is the bit where it really lines up with the vocals. Can't hear me knocking, right? Third finger and little finger are going to go to the B and E strings here. And you're going to play the bottom 3 strings. And you're going to go... Okay, it's obviously important to keep the bar in place because you're going to be playing those bottom 3 strings on the last strum. So... You're going to come off one more down strum. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to go, instead of putting the little finger down this time, you're just going to go back with your third finger on the B string. Okay, so you're going to hear this. So third finger goes back down. It makes a subtle change, doesn't it? And then you finish it with a strum on the 5th fret, bottom 3 strings. Okay. Once you've done that, an up down on all of the opens on the, I keep calling them the open strings, an up down on the 5th fret, a bar. Okay, so on the 5th fret, up, down, back to the 7, then mute the strings. Okay, that's what I want you to get. So you've got this. Okay, ready? From the beginning of that little Can't Hear Me Knocking section. Okay, you're nearly there in the home straight. Last section. Okay, here we go. So you've just finished this bit. Okay, and you'll notice when my hand's gone, I've gone to the 10th fret, and we're going to basically do something very similar to all the riffs we did before. We're going to go. Okay, so. Okay, so you're going to go. And that's very similar to what one of the earlier riffs, where you did the sliding. Sometimes when you listen to the track, so it's exactly the same. Slide from the 10th fret, hammer that one on. So you're not plucking it, hammer it on. Most of the time when you do it, you're just doing exactly that. So you've already plucked the first time. Then you do it again. What I hear a lot of the time what Keith does is do a little stab there, just to punctuate the difference. So, and then you go back to the 5th fret with the bar and you repeat. Okay, so I'm going to play it for you so you can hear it. So you played these two sections together. Okay. Best of luck with it. If you've got any questions, feel free to give me a shout. You're going to be fine. Good luck with it. Look forward to hearing you play it.